Well, hi guys, it's a lovely Tuesday afternoon in my back garden. Just got the one day off during the week. I've got Sunday off. It's Easter week, and at work it's all full steam ahead with our hot cross buns. Bit disappointed with them this year. They've changed their makeup slightly and they're not as spicy as normally, but that's my professional opinion. But I'm digressing. Yes, not been out. It's difficult to get out at the moment for some reason. I've been going to the doctors a lot and various other things have been happening. I've made some garlic pesto. That's using ramsons, which is the leaves. If you pick a ramson, snap it, smell it, you smell the smell of garlic. Bit of olive oil, bit of Parmesan cheese, grated, which I'll stir in at the end, and I use walnuts. And very tasty it is to had some for my lunch with cheese on toast. As I said, I've been carving lately, and this is the stuff that I've been doing. I shall knock this out in about half an hour this morning. Got a little pile of maple that's well past its best. It just can't split it out very well, and it's still a working process. Bit of sand in there. It's an egg spoon really, you know, for dipping or whatever. Nice little spoon, nice sort of shape. As I say, I just picked it up. I made that when I was given my having a rest from making that, which is a butter spreader. You know, pop, pop, pop. Again, I'm still a work in progress. Got to sand it down a bit and engrave it. You can make these in various shapes. The style I got from a book I'm going to show you in a minute. This was from my last trip in the woods. Little salt sugar spoon made out of sweet chestnut. It's got a nice bit of grain on it. Again, another piece of maple, another spoon. My carving tends to revolve around spoons and butter spreaders, anything that's useful. I'm not much of a decorative carver, some people carve with very wonderful love type spoons and what have you, but it's not really my forte as far as spoon carve. I like something practical. Again, that's beech, piece of beech. I split the wood out the wrong way, so I've got a nice curve into it. It'd be good for popping into your pocket as a bit of a porridge or soup spoon. Another piece of sweet chestnut into a butter spreader. I've actually started working on this one. If you can look, there's some pattern in there, and if I turn it over, pattern in there. And this I think is maple. If you go to Hobbycraft, you can buy little blocks of wood, packets of wood for about £10, and you get quite a variety: lime, maple, bit of birch. And this is again a soup type spoon, soup porridge spoon, done in a sort of English style spoons. I've got a book upstairs called Woodland Crafts, published in 1930 by and authored by a guy called Eglin, and it explores all the woodland and coppice crafts in England, and most of our spoons tend to be straight. If you look at a Swedish eating spoon, it tends to come in this shape. This is a blank I found on a course. I was on I think at the food course, and I found this. They've obviously used that side of it to make the spoon, and I'm looking at it and thinking, well, I might be able to get something out of this, you know, even if it's only a sort of curved spatula. I've marked off the saw marks for the handle. The bowl will be there somewhere. Piece of birch. It's not bad, slightly spalted, so you've got some nice patterns on it. I think it was Simon asked about a list of books, or books that I would recommend. It's difficult, there's so many books out there too for the bushcrafter forager. I'll kick off with the foraging aspect. By far the best book you can get is Wild is Food for Free by Richard Mabey. It is the Bible, the one book, particularly for those people that are living in the UK, to get on foraging foods. There are many other books. Now every foraging book now follows a formulaic pattern. A plant, how to eat the plant, how to harvest the plant, how to eat the plant, and recipes. I don't buy it. I bought my last foraging book. I bought as an ebook a couple of weeks back, and I'm not going to bother after that now, unless there's a reprint come out like Wild Food or by Roger Phillips or Richard Mabey's Food for Free. Both very good books. Foraging is basically a get up and get out there and do it job. You can actually sit at home and read all the books you like. You won't get anywhere. You just got to get up and get out and do it, and take the plunge on the taste of some food. Bushcraft book, bushcraft, woodcraft type books. There are again so many. Very much of a muchness. The books I've got one as an ebook and as a hard copy, but it's upstairs somewhere buried, and that's by Joe O'Leary. Very good little book. It's a great book because it's got humour in it, and to my mind, you know, some books, the books I'll show you, tend to be a little bit on the dry side. It's nice if they put a bit of humour in it. The first book on my list is quite hard to get a hold of. I got this off eBay. Actually I got it quite a good price, only 35 quid. It's the first book written by, the chap on here is known as Raymond Mears, but we know him better as Ray Mears. And it's illustrated by Ben McNutt, and it's a very good book. It covers, I would say it's a better of his books. It's his first book. He was in his mid-20s when he wrote it. It's called The Survival Handbook. Now, I don't like the word survival that much. I don't do survival. I do bushcraft, I do woodland crafts, I go out camping. But survival is a sexy word that sells books. And that's the book. The contents in here are the basics: possibles, shelter, fire, water, plants, hunting and tracking, hitting the trail, trapping and fishing, cooking, preserving and storing foods, baskets, cordage, pottery and glue, stone and bone, hide and sinew. Very good book, and I'd highly recommend it. The first three books are by Ray Mears. The second book is The Outdoor Survival Handbook, and that's worked off. It's practical tips, and it's worked off in seasons. It's a very good little book. It's well used, it's well thumbed. All my books are well used. For instance, there's a little bit I've got here marked on making a basket there, and that's coiling grass. Actually, I watched a very good video by Morris Kahansky on making a grass mat. Pity you can't get grass that length around here, because it was absolutely a wonderful piece of kit. He made up a loom, and he used the warp and the weft. It was both just clumps of grass. Very good book. In many respects this is the Bible. Covers knots, fire lighting, water cutting tools, and it's survival skills around the world, called Ray Mears Essential Bushcraft. I've got the hardback copy, which has got a little bit more in it, and this one. This is quite well thumbed and quite well used. Very good book. I would say for most people it's a bit of a Bible. I quite like the book. There's a picture there of Mr. Ben McNutt of Woodsmoke. He was working for Woodlaw at the time, and he done all the illustrations in this book. It is very good. It covers everything from the basics, from the outfit right through to a little bit of foraging and canoodling. Books can only serve as a guide. You can't really learn that much from books. You can often a piece of one-to-one or group tuition where you got the person passing the knowledge on, and he can show you nuances, or she could show you nuances that cannot be shown in the book. You know, you can learn all you can about knife about spoon carving from a book, but there are certain little things, certain grips, certain ways of holding the wood that you can only learn in a practical situation. This is by far one of the best books on the market as far as I'm concerned, and it's by Mors Kochanski. If you look out on YouTube, type in Karamat Wilderness Ways or even Mors Kochanski, you'll find the guy himself presenting, and he's got a unique presentation style. Very, very funny to watch, but he is the godfather. I think, you know, just before Ramirez, it was him. And I think he basically, everything has stemmed from him in the modern era. And I'm not sure whether I showed this. The Bushcraft book, I'd highly recommend that one. It's really, really good. He's also got an e-book now, which is an adjunct to that, which is a bit more advanced techniques, and it covers very many things on it. Now, this has just come back into print again, and it's called Swedish Carving Techniques by Willy Sundqvist, a Swedish slöjd person. The slöjd means craft or craft work. Brilliant book on carving, particularly spoon carving and what have you. Covers knives, various woods, aspects of Swedish carving. There is another Swedish carving book out on the market, but that deals with making hands and how to use a shave horse and what have you. Again, it's somewhere in the man cave, but that is the one to get. There is a companion video with Yoge, his son, demonstrating some of the techniques. It deals with knife grips, how to handle a knife so you don't cut yourself. I mean, in fact the only time I've cut myself was that, and that was a few weeks back on an ads, and I was doing it wrong. In fact, it doesn't even in fact the other book on Swedish carving shows you how to make blocks up to hold a piece in. I've been looking around the net, as I normally do, and on my Facebook page and on various Facebook feeds that I come through, and it occurred to me that everybody thinks they must have an axe when they go out to the woods. You know, oh, I'm a bushcrafter, I must get myself an. You don't need it. Okay, I've got axes, I've got various types of axes which I might do a video on at some point. I've got carving axes, I've got small forest axes, I've got a huge axe head which I've yet to find a suitable piece of timber to halve it, but it's a tree fanning axe in the English pattern, and I'm not sure whether I'd ever use it. Got Kemp pattern axe, which is used for carving and for coppicing work and green wood work, but most people think they've got to have it. You don't need it, as I say, you don't need an axe. I suppose if you want something for splitting wood, get yourself a throw. It's safer, it's smaller, it's lighter. I mean, half the time we're not out there felling trees. We're only going to split a bit of wood for a small fire. We're not intending to stay for a couple of weeks out in the woods, and it's not that easy to find dead standing trees around here. Well, particularly around here, most of them are being felled by Kent Hardwood Project, or some child has cut them down with a handsaw. Kit you would need to take out with you for any bushcraft, any Swedish carving techniques. I used 4 tools for that. I used a Mora clipper, a Frost Sloyd knife, my Benolf pick knife which has got a very small blade. In fact, I'll try and fish that out. Oops, so easy. Right, there we go. Hook knife, Benolf pick knife, clipper, and somewhere around here oops, so there it is. Right. Those are the 4 tools. That takes off most of the meat. That does a bit finer work. Obviously that does for scooping out the bowls. That's a small hook knife. I've got 2 bigger ones. I've also got a crook knife which I don't use that often, and this is my Benolf pick knife. As you can see, a very small blade. It's also used for doing engraving work as well. And this is something I'm particularly proud of. That's my crook knife. Don't use that very often. Needs to get a better edge on it. But basically it's a cross between a plane and a spoon knife. Made from a steel file. And the crook bit comes from the shape of the handle. Made it up in the Lake District. It's a bit of an alder as a handle, and I'm really pleased with that. It's a nice piece of work. And basically, if you make your own crook knives, you can either have a straight blade. Someone did a very small type, almost a blade that curved around back on itself. So the tip of it was very similar to that, but a tighter curve. I've got a shallow curve on mine. That and a clipper knife, if you're canoeing, is all you need. You can make with that and where is it? Again, I'll put it away. That and you can make yourself a paddle, repair your canoe, or whatever. Even going to the woods. I mean, that would even suffice for making spoons with. Okay, you won't get such a good bowl. Maybe you get a Swedish type spoon where the bowl's flatter and you tend not to have the lip at the end, but I like soup. Well guys, okay, I'm not an out in the woods video today. It could be a couple of weeks yet. Still sorting some other things out in life. Just sorting work out. It's Easter week and everything's all go. And guys, on weather like this, we should be outside enjoying ourselves. We're around the back garden. Bushcraft doesn't necessarily mean you've got to be in the woods all the time. Bushcraft is craft of the bush, craft of the outside. It's getting a piece of timber, helving an axe head maybe, making a knife handle, making some utility item like a basket or a small bowl. I have it in mind to make a couple of small bowls about that big. Don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it's a craft project. It's actually bushcraft. Most people miss that. They think the whole idea is sitting around a tent, supping a few beers. There's nothing wrong in that, but it isn't bushcraft. That's camping with benefits as far as I'm concerned. And basically that's what bushcraft is. But it's actually making stuff. It's not going out. You know, you can go out and you can buy yourself a bushcraft mug from your local camping store. But what's better still is to actually make one. Find the wood, go out. Don't fell a tree just for a bit of wood that big. You can normally, if you go around where people are felling trees or road clearing, tree surgeons, I do a little bit of work now and then with the Kent High Wheel project. They're always doing a bit of woodland clearing. You can pick up stuff. I picked up the handle for my last throw from stuff they cleared. The bowl, which I'm having to soak for a bit because it's splitting out. I've got that from a piece of wood they felled. So find out where the green wood workers are, see if you can get some offcuts, see if you can actually join in, see if they can pass on some of their knowledge. Well guys, I've burbled on enough, and I hope you're all having a good time in this wonderful spring weather. one other book, and it deals with just Europe, and that is Andrew Lang's Survival in a Northwest European Environment. Excellent little book. You don't see it about often enough. I came across it on a course, and as soon as I got home I ordered it. It's a wonderful little book. It covers all sorts of different little things, you know, making oil lamps out of tin cans and what have you. Got enough offcuts of wood. Maybe in the next video I'll fire up the hobo stove I made a few months back. I need to fire it up, get and see how it works, and I'd rather do it here in the backyard so that I can tweak things rather than go out into the woods, fire it up thinking, oh, I need to do so and so and so and so, wait for it to die down, bring it all the way back. Happy grafting, guys.